Welcome to the Verdin Sports Show. I'm your host, Jacob Verdin. Today I'm graduating, so we recorded this yesterday, debuting it today. About to toss this cap in the air. G, how you feeling? How you been? What you ready to talk about, dog?
Congrats, man. Congrats. That's a big accomplishment in your journey, bro. A lot of people can't say they're a college graduate, man. You went up there and did your thing. And I can't wait to see what the next chapter holds for you, man.
I appreciate it, dog. Appreciate all the help. Appreciate all the support from everybody as well. I'm excited too. A little nervous. I can't lie. I can't lie to you. A little nervous. We're going to figure this thing out, though. We're going to be able to handle it. Let's open this
Got it.
stream up. We're going to talk about a couple of things. This is the layout for today. We're going to talk about who you think is LSU's X factor for 2025. Do a little bit of an NBA playoff recap. NFL schedule release happened earlier this week. We'll break that down. Some takeaways. New Orleans Saints getting shunned from prime time. We'll break down some rookie mini camp storylines. Gee, let's open it right up. Elephant in the room. Who's the big dog? BMOC, big man on campus. Now that I left, who's next? No, I'm joking. Kayden Durham. I think this is the guy. And there's a lot of reasons that I can go in on this. The number one reason is going to be obviously because he was hurt for most of the season. The South Alabama game, he pops off. Not a lot of people would have expected him to be hurt. He had an 80-yard breakaway, 78-yard breakaway to match. He had a receiving touchdown, rushing touchdown, everything. But he had to wear a damn steel plate, G. And he had to wear it the whole rest of the season. BK was saying, hey, he's about 70%, whatever the case may be. Whatever percentage it was last year, this year, it's 100%. That makes me a lot more confident. He's getting 5 yards per carry. He was LSU's leading rusher, over 700 rushing yards, 6 rushing tutties. And he even got in on the receiving game as well, 260 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. If he's doing all that while he's hurt, I'm interested to see what he does when he's 100% healthy. Plus, there's a lot of things we can keep in mind. Freshman all SEC honors. Your first year toting that pill for LSU, you get in the top 10 in SEC in rushing yards. That's another one of those accomplishments we have to highlight. My thing is, if this offensive line's back, if the continuity is there, if they're able to replace the production and really not look a little worried, I think this dude's going to be hard to guard. I don't think he can do it. I think they got a lot of complementary backs and pieces to this offense to be able to help him be the biggest piece of the scheme. But if I had to pinpoint somebody in LSU's offense, defense, whole team collectively, that's going to be the guy. I got to give it to CDG.
That's a good one. I can't disagree with your perspective on why you feel that he can be the ultimate playmaker for LSU next year, and he could very well be that. I was torn between a couple guys, man. With so many talented guys on that side of the ball, you really could pick between 3 to 5 people that's gonna be they most explosive playmaker next year. But the guy I'm gonna go with, man, I'm going with Aaron Anderson, bro. Uh, what he did last year, I thought that's gonna put him on another level this year. I think that he got all the confidence in the world. That USC game when Kyle Parker went down, next man up mentality. He came in and he had a really, really good game, scored a touchdown, and then the rest was history. The game against A&M, the play he made, catching a slant over the middle, breaking a tackle, and then putting on the Jets and hitting his head on the goalpost. He just made a lot of plays last year that made you feel like he's gonna be wide receiver one this year. And I know they brought Baron Brown in to be one of the guys, but I think ultimately, man, Aaron Anderson gonna be the best and the most consistent playmaker on this team next year. Now, obviously, you know, you could say Nussmeier, right? Because he's the quarterback, and without him, none of this goes. None of this gets done without 13 behind the center, uh, throwing that pill and making the right reads and stuff like that, right? But if we talking about skill position wise, I think Aaron Anderson is the guy. I know some people probably will say, well, Aaron, he's only 5'8", so he's limited in what he could do. I beg to differ. I think that's the only thing you can say about Aaron is that he's small, bro. He got good hands. He good in space. He's super fast. And I'm gonna tell you something that's underrated by Aaron Anderson that I hope Joe Sloan and Nussmeier unleashes this year. And one underrated thing about Aaron and the people haven't seen yet is, man, he's a good 50-50 ball guy. Like, I don't care if he's going against a DB that's taller than him. It don't matter. He has like a 37, 38-inch vert, bro. And he can ball hedge at any given time. I'm hoping that Nussmeier and Joe Sloan unleashes that about Aaron this year. Because he definitely has that capability. So when I think they need a big time play and they need somebody to be consistent throughout the season at that wide receiver position or at a skill position on that field on offense, I just think Aaron Anderson gonna be the one, bro. I think he's a freak of nature. Don't let his size fool you. I think that's the guy I'm going with. I'm going with one.
And then I want to build off your point too, talking about the high and everybody trying to nitpick things like that. Gee, look at the NFL. Tyreek Hill, Zay Flowers, even got guys like Tyler Lockett. I feel like Zay
Jalen
Bond even.
Waddle. Jalen Waddle.
You got a lot of people coming up, Devontae Smith even, but you got a lot of people coming up that are not exactly the most physically imposing people, but what they do possess is a bag. What they do possess is that moxie to be able to line up against somebody and go, it's over with. I'm getting it. I'm getting right over you. I'm catching this ball over you. Don't matter. And the 50-50 point, the 50-50 balls, the fades, this, that, the other. Everybody's thinking size, G. Got to get over him. Got to jump over him. Wow, what if you burn him? What if nobody's around you? What if all of a sudden, wow, it's like a track meet and it looks like Jelani Watkins running a sub 100 out there? I feel
Uh,
like that is underrated.
yeah, I've seen Aaron do that a plethora of times, bro. I've seen him put him on the outside and they throw the back shoulder or they throw the fade ball, and bro, he is jumping up at his highest point and he's snatching it out the air. And uh I just think that's something about his game that a lot of people don't know about. And if Nussmeier and Joe Sloan give us them type of opportunities, I
Mhm.
think his NFL stock gonna go up even more.
I think so too, especially with the wide receiver class LSU is always putting out. Everybody is starting to respect the boot, man. I mean, I know we
And
got these debates, but it's
yeah,
clear.
and don't forget his return specialist ability.
And then plus, I feel like with that being said, with what we saw through spring, with what we saw with LSU trying to plug and play a couple of things, you can put them damn near anywhere on the field for that matter. Special teams, slide, outside, hell, put them in the backfield, do some trickery with them, do some jet sweeps with them. There's a lot of bags I feel like you could put him into. It's gonna be interesting to watch LSU develop that though. G, let's switch gears. Let's talk about some NBA playoffs. We tried to predict it the other day. It ain't going horrible. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like the worst thing of it all, unfortunately, the man on the left, Jayson Tatum, he did rupture his Achilles. That's unfortunate. He's already surgically repaired. Surgery already done. He's already healed, and he's on his Kobe Bryant Mamba mentality path, trying to get back. But defending champs, my takeaway on this, G, I don't know if you agree. I'll open the floor to you after. Do you think that being a defending champ, having already gone through a grueling season last year, going into June, now you come into this regular season, target on the back. Everybody wants to prove that they can beat the champs. Every time you play somebody, you get their best shot. Do you think that this potentially wore them down a little bit? And now these are why the injuries are here? Or there's a second question. You think the NBA season's too long? Because there's a lot of injuries all over the place. You got Steph Curry, you got this, you even had Anthony Edwards at one point banged up. Do you think maybe the Celtics just had a lot of, grueling overload, or do you just think the NBA season is just way too damn long?
Uh, I can see why some people would think that the season is a little bit too long. But I don't think that's the reason behind the injuries, bro. You got to realize, bro, these dudes train and put a lot of wear and tear on their body 10 to 11 months out the year, right? And when you train at a high level 3 times a day for a number amount of years, it takes a toll on your body. That's why it's so important to invest in your body. All right, the chamber that LeBron gets in. Um, just going to see these different people and getting massages and doing all these different things to keep your body fresh and keep your muscles fresh, and your ligaments and stuff like that. That's the type of things you got to do. You can't just think that you're gonna play in a gruesome, NBA season and go throughout the playoffs and think, just because you go out there and stretch a little bit and then go out there and start training and then go and play in the season, that and nothing's gonna happen. All right, you got to be proactive instead of reactive. And I think, and I don't know Jason Tatum's off-season regimen. Like I don't know who he goes sees and things like that. But I do know that, the ones that's been playing in the league for, 15 plus years, those guys do a great job of taking care of their body. And what LeBron does in the off season and in the regular season when he's playing, uh, majority of his day goes to treatment for his body. And that's what these players gonna have to do if they want to stay fresh and not have no major injuries, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially, everybody always highlights the fact that LeBron James is spending 1 million, 2 million, and that's like the biggest talking point. But I feel like that's the most obvious reason as
Now,
to why the greatness has been
now he
kind of
said,
pushed.
that's false. Now he said he don't spend $1 million on his body. He was on Pat McAfee show and he addressed that. He was like, I don't know where that number came from. He said I don't spend nowhere near $1 million on my body. So he said he spent a good bit, but he says nowhere near 1 million. So
Yeah.
if I had to guess, he probably spending about 300K, 200K.
She, if anybody can do it, I think it's King James. I ain't gonna lie. Let's talk about this Pacers series real quick. Keep it Eastern related. Absolutely murked the Cavs. I'm not gonna lie, G. I went and did a little digging. The Cavs are the fourth 60-win team in NBA history to lose in 5 before the conference finals. I want to ask you a question about the seeding, and then also the fact that I'm not gonna say it don't matter. I'm just saying at the end of the day, sometimes it's about who's gonna have the most dog in them. And the reason I say this is because the number one seed got exposed by the Pacers, who are now heading to the Eastern Conference Finals. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is their second time in the conference finals below a 3 seed or something. The Pacers are not the top seed. They're never the favorite. They're never
Right.
somebody everybody's looking at. Here they are knocking off a number one seed in 5 games. What's your takeaway with that and the whole seeding thing?
All season long, and even when the playoffs started, even in the first round when the Cavs was blowing out, who they played in the first round? They played was
I
it the
know Celtics
Hawks?
played the Magic. Let me go see.
I think they played the Hawks. And my whole thing with the Cavs is talented team. They got the two big with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. And you got Darius Garland. You got Donovan Mitchell. Uh, I like they bench, but I've always said this about Donovan Mitchell. Really good player, gonna score 24 games for you every season. Super dynamic. But if Donovan Mitchell is taking the most shots on your team and he's the best player on your team, it's only so far you're gonna go, bro. I think Donovan Mitchell takes entirely way too many shots than Darius Garland. I think Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell's shot selection should be right around the same. I've been saying that for a couple years now. Uh, there's no reason Darius Garland should have 11 shot attempts and Donovan Mitchell got 21 shot attempts. That just don't sit right with me.
And
That
bounce.
just and I feel like Darius Garland is more of a playmaker. When he gets downhill and beats you off the bounce, he's more prone to make a play for a teammate. Donovan Mitchell, not so much. Not saying he can't do it, but Donovan Mitchell is way more one track minded. He's trying to score and score and score. And in my opinion, I think that hurt the Cavs in his
I agree.
playoffs. And I feel like when he was with the Jazz. I feel like Donovan Mitchell shot the ball way too many times when they had other guys on that team that should have been getting just as many shots as Donovan Mitchell. You know what I mean? And so don't get me wrong, man. When he has those games, when he has the hot hand, when he knocking his threes down, he's knocking his mid range down, he getting to the cup, getting to the free throw line. Yeah, we gonna ride that hot hand. But consistently every game, he's taking the most shots on the team. I just think that's a recipe for disaster. And I think they're gonna have to make a decision what they're gonna do with him and Darius Garland. You can't keep both. In my opinion, if you're gonna keep letting Donovan Mitchell be the guy to take all the shots every game, you need to go ahead and move on from Darius Garland and let him go somewhere where he can get more shots and be in a better situation.
I agree. And then look, even talking about Donovan, yeah, being the high hand, getting all the focus, he dropped 40 plus against the Pacers. Guess what still happened? Halliburton dropped one, buzzer beater. So in the end, you could have the high hand, you could be the guy that's getting all the shots. You got to get the WG, got to get the win. It don't matter. I'd rather 20 points in a W than 100 in an L. And I know that sounds crazy, but just reality speaking, when you're in the playoffs, that's the way it goes. Build off of that Garland question. I wanted to know, do you think Donovan Mitchell's out of here? Out of Cleveland?
I think they're gonna probably get rid of Darius Garland.
Okay.
I think they're
I
gonna trade him and keep Donovan Mitchell.
and Donovan Mitchell, let's see how old Donovan Mitchell is. He can't be more than 30. It's gonna be
Mm-mm.
right around that.
We probably like 28, something like that.
28 exactly on a dot. They got a lot of
Mm.
time left with them. So I feel like, yeah, it's buying this stock early. Now, this is a little bit of a different situation. You got the Thunder up on the Nuggets. Now, I'm just gonna say I'm surprised. Now, I'm not necessarily surprised the number one seed is close to the finals or the conference finals, rather, but it's more so that they're doing this against a team that I found to be one of the most experienced. Yeah, they had the head coaching struggles, but it's just the fact that you got somebody like Jokic that, quite frankly, is unguardable, and it just seems like every single night you know what you're getting from him. There's a lot of consistency. Dude's like a 40-point, or I was about to say 40 try combo machine, points, rebound, assists, all this great stuff. Do you think that the Thunder have kind of entered that now I'm a contender phase rather than I'm proving myself to be a contender phase? Because I mean, the way that I viewed them before this playoffs, G, was just a little bit young. Maybe they were going to kind of get exposed, but as of right now, I feel like they're holding up to the test.
Yeah, if they get past the Nuggets, that's gonna give them the ultimate confidence. You beating a team that just won a championship the year before last with an MVP candidate like Jokic. That's going it puts your franchise in a different category now. All right, you feel better about yourself when you beat a team that got championship pedigree. And I think Shay Alexander has been playing out his mind. I think he should be the MVP. I think what he has done in his playoffs, especially when they was playing the Nuggets the other night, and it was down, I think it was like 8 in the fourth, bro. He just like put his cape on and say, "Man, just ride with me. I'm gonna make some shots. If they try to send help, I'm gonna find you. Just knock it down." And that's what he did, bro. I mean, you didn't see any nervousness. You didn't see him get rattled. You didn't see him look phased at all about the moment, bro. And I think that's what's so impressive about Shea Alexander, bro. He's just a calm, collected kind of dude, and he can make shots from any level. And he's so damn long, and he's so damn crafty, bro, with the ball, and the type of shots he make. He good with either hand. Like, he should win MVP, bro. And so, if they can find a way to win this series, because it ain't over now. It ain't over. I know they're up 3-2, but you gotta be careful with the Nuggets. All right, this team is really, really good. But if they can get past the Nuggets, man, I think when they get their conference finals, as good as I think the Timberwolves are, and I think it's gonna be a really good series. I just think that's gonna put them on another level from a confidence standpoint, and it's gonna be tough for the Timberwolves to beat them, especially with OKC having home court advantage. So I think this is a franchise that's on the cusp to being one of the elite teams to look out for, not only for this year but the years to come. If they can win this series against the Nuggets, it's like you get a lot of weight off your back if
Oh
you
yeah,
beat these people.
you get a lot of weight off your back, G, and then you got Uncle Mo come over to your sideline. Uncle Momentum. He's gonna come knock on the door. AOKC. I think it's gonna be your time. I want to build off of that shade point as well. And I ain't trying to throw no shade at our guy Beard. The Beard, James Harden, shout out to him. I just want to say, gee, there are players that step up, and there are players that unfortunately do sometimes not step up in the playoffs. Playoffs is a different game. It's not the regular season. The fouls are different. It's a lot rougher. The game's an entirely different game, from speed to contact to just the whole overall schematics of it. Then hell, the mindset. Shay, I feel like in any point, if it's a game 7, if it's a game 1, if it's on the road, whatever the case may be, he always has that ability to turn it on. And I think that's going to be the reason why they can probably push themselves into this finals conversation. It's hard to do. Hard to do. Hard to finish. Wolves and Warriors. So obviously, Wolves take care of Warriors. No Curry, no problem. Now, my thing with them versus the Thunder, G, that are, or Nuggets, is that they get to rest. They do get to rest. They do get to sit back. They do get to watch. They get to look at the matchup. Put on your coaching hat and just talk to me about what that's like for a team that gets to sit back and just kind of kick their feet up and game plan a little bit. Do you think that that's going to potentially help them out, or is that a little overrated?
Man, they can go either way. I've seen it to where a team gets their rest, and they get fresher, and the little knick-knack injuries, they're able to take care of them, and they come back that next series, and they hitting all cylinders. But I've also seen it to where they get their rest and they get that time off, and they come back rusted, and it take them a game or two to get back in the groove of things. So that's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be tricky to see how it's gonna play out. But I think it's gonna be a really good series. I think the key to it, like I say, if OKC could finish off the Nuggets, I think the key is Jaden McDaniels. I think this guy is probably the most important player on the Timberwolves team. You know, at 6'10", being able to go out the 1 through 5, switch on any ball screen, and then on the offensive end, he could post you up and knock down shots. He got a handle to him. He long and lengthy, athletic. He like a Swiss Army knife, and I think he's gonna be the key to the Timberwolves' success if they want to have an opportunity to knock off the Thunder. So I can't wait for it. I think it's gonna be a really good series.
I agree. Let's move into this
If
NFL
if if
schedule.
if they could beat the Nuggets, if they, I'm not counting the Nuggets out. I'm
Me
not counting
neither.
them out.
You can never count out Joker, man. He gonna put a damn Superman cape on too. Hey, Shay got a Superman cape, but look, Joker, he might not even be Superman. G, he could be Kryptonite. We never know. We're gonna have to watch it play out and see though. I'm about to pop this graphic up. Everybody gonna get confused as hell. But check out what the Chargers did for their schedule release. G. Oh Lord, wrong one. Look at this, bro. Yeah, Minecraft schedule release, bro. Everybody get creative with the way they're doing their schedules. Everybody got to drop the best, most entertaining, most funny way. The Saints, they ain't have no type of humor in theirs. G. No
Hey,
type of
hey,
humor.
hey, that shit is horrible. By the way,
That's horrible. You
yeah,
ain't
that
like
shit,
it.
that's horrible.
Is
That's
not getting
horrible.
the G stamp.
Yeah, nah, I don't like that. Whoever came over with that in their marketing department, they need to get seriously evaluated and they need to get some time off with no pay.
Come on, Harbaugh. We need to get that right in there,
Come
man.
on, yeah, that's so hideous. Oh my
The
god.
the Saints got no primetime games. G. I have never been allowed to see this. 25 years since the Saints have gotten zero primetime games. Now let me explain though they could potentially flex. There could be a time where like
Mm.
if somebody is better than expected, they can flex some of the games at the end. So they might be able to add one. What do they have though? Second easiest schedule in terms of strength of schedule. And I feel like the Saints always got an easy schedule. I mean, it's kind of it all goes based off of the record. I know last year was a rough record, so they're going to give it here. But G, I remember last season, everybody talking about the strength of schedule being in the Saints' favor. Everybody was talking about it. It's another one of those seasons, so I'm not going to buy that smoke. I'm not going to buy that stock. I want to ask two questions. One, what's your reaction to this naturally? Two, if the Saints tank again, do they even get a more easier schedule? Like, how much easier can this get? This is that would be my plan. And I ain't trying to say I'm tanking specifically for this, but bruh, if every single year it's gonna get easier and easier and easier, shit, we'll get 5, and the next year make y'all run. What you think?
First of all, the Saints don't deserve no primetime games. They don't. You know, I know it's early, but I'm gonna stick to what I feel, and I just don't see the Saints winning more than 7 games. I just think it's gonna be a rebuild. And then they don't have any star power. All right. Your Michael Thomas is gone. Your Marshawn Lattimore is gone. Uh, no Drew Brees, no Jameis Winston. You don't have those names to want to make these prime time. You make ESPN and Peacock say we want to put y'all on national TV. The only
Right.
pro- the only hot name we got right now is Alvin Kamara.
And he might even be hurt.
You know,
But
so I'm not surprised that the Saints don't have any primetime games. I really think there's going to be a rebuild year. Unless Tyler Shaw or Spencer Rattler, whoever's the starting quarterback, unless they just come out and they guns blazing. I just think it's gonna be a tough year for the Saints, man. And then defensively, bro, we old on defense. We old, and we gonna be relying on these older guys to make plays for us this year. And regardless, when people come out and say a team has the first or the third easiest schedule in the league, I don't pay no attention to that, bro. It's any given Sunday,
yep.
any given Sunday, and you could lose to anybody. So that don't necessarily mean just because you got an easy schedule that you're gonna win a certain amount of games. I don't give a damn how talented your roster is. Stuff be happening, bro. Injuries, the chemistry, it's just a lot of different factors come into play. So uh I'm like I say, the Saints don't deserve any primetime games. And having said all of that, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Tyler Shaw come out or Spencer Rattler, whoever the starting quarterback, I hope they come out and they balling. The offensive line moving people, we running the ball, the defense flying around, getting turnover, getting sacks, and we win 10, 11 games. I hope that happens.
I'll be
I
lit.
just think I just think it's very unrealistic
I'm gonna have to agree
to
with
really
you.
think that's gonna happen.
My first takeaway whenever I saw no primetime games is, hey, look, you get to rebuild in peace. No spotlight, no scrutiny. If you wanted the most calming environment for a rookie quarterback to come in and be able to just transition very smoothly, you do it outside the primetime light. Now, if Tyler Shaw turns up, then you get the Jaden Daniels treatment, like the Commanders, and then you get added into all the primetime games, the hardest schedule, this, that, the other. Right now, though, it's probably their best bet because, like you said, I think we know exactly how this is gonna go if they go out there on 7 o'clock on a Thursday and just get wiped.
They're gonna be the third best team in the division, possibly the fourth. You're not better than the
And
Falcons. You're not better than the Buccaneers, and you're neck and neck with the Panthers. So it's gonna be a tough year, man. Again, I hope I'm wrong about it.
hey, we'll be there either way, though. If it's a good year,
Oh yeah,
we'll be
I'm look,
excited.
I'm who that till I die, bro. Like
Let's
I'm gonna
get it.
still roll with us. I'm gonna still watch, but I gotta be realistic by my teams. I'm not dead biased when it
You're
comes to
not
my
a homer.
squads.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta keep it a buck, man. You gotta keep that Nostradamus cap reputable, dog. Come on. About to hop out of here. G, appreciate your time. Appreciate everybody. We'll be live again Monday at 12:30 p.m. Y'all know the drill. Hit that like button. Go to the description. Follow us on socials. Make sure you tap in. G, appreciate your time, man.